major cities had sculptures throughout. Some of them were defaced, but most of them had survived. It was interesting to see the smaller towns and what they had in the way of sculpture. In the east, Clarksburg, West Virginia had the founder, John Carlisle, and local heroes included my favorite, Stonewall Jackson. In Mountain View, there were a few pieces by the train station which looked to be FDA Circular 9400 projects. The city of Redding, California had a sculpture garden by City Hall, but it was not integrated into the mostly vacant downtown. In Winslow, Washington, I saw a smaller town with a viable sculpture strategy. Smaller displays in height, but massive in volume of display. Snoqualmie, Washington used sculpture in an interesting way to supplement their 1910 less than awe-inspiring historic real estate inventory. The band mill wheel, totem pole, historic exhibits. They had a large inventory of deteriorating antique trains. Coeur d'Alene's Art Commission provided sculpture pretty much by the block, and I would think that it was to keep the interest of the visitor. There are too many gaps in the building inventory or walls without windows, and people lose interest. Across Montana, the practice was spotty, but there were a few that I liked. Sheridan, Wyoming had by far the largest display, and the works in totality made this a must-stop for people. There were images of the Old West as well as the Wizard of Oz. I stopped there and chatted with the Main Street manager and secured information concerning how this had all came to be. Normally I average an hour and a half per town. In some smaller towns I get in and out in an hour, but Sheridan commanded my attention for almost 3 hours. Rapid City, South Dakota, located near Mount Rushmore, had an impressive array of presidential sculptures. There was not much after that, but I did see a Mary Tyler Moore sculpture in Minneapolis. I think the use of sculpture is vastly underappreciated in small towns. Towns seeking to adopt an arts and entertainment district strategy look to a couple things. Music and murals are primary vehicles. If you look closely at some of these markers in Sheridan, these pieces of art were donated to the town. Some places had the artwork lent for a certain exhibit time. This is something that can be done pretty easily to enhance your district. Some places used the Walk of Fame and had remembrance inlaid in the sidewalk like on Beale Street in Memphis. The musical note for Furry Lewis brought me back to my days in the 70s when I was a union business agent in Memphis for UFW Local 282, and I used to go see Furry perform. We met when I ran into him at a Leon Russell concert at the Lafayette Music Hall, and we kind of clicked. There was a big Caterpillar plant in Memphis, and I wore a hat that said Cat across the front. He would often call out to me, "Hey, Cat," while he was performing if he saw me in the audience. We sipped some George Dickel together once or twice, and he introduced me to members of the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. Thank you for visiting my site. Last Days of Lockdown 2021. Over 80 videos showing conditions at the end of the 2021 lockdown, which I have chronicled for posterity.